I think it's so important because we live in this community called Toowoomba, and we're a village, and that village needs to make sure that we look after our children and we help people develop respectful relationships. And there's this hideous social cancer called pornography, and it's destroying relationships, and it's destroying in our children's minds what a respectful relationship would look like in the future. So it's for government, it's for business people, it's for grandparents and parents, for everyone in the city to stand up and say, we cannot have porn in the city and we must look after our children.
My heart is particularly with children, and I think that when they are exposed to pornography, it distorts loving relationships, it distorts their view of themselves. And I just think it is something that's really insidious and awful for children, and that they shouldn't have to deal with, they shouldn't be exposed to, and they should have beautiful childhoods, nurtured childhoods. So I really would do everything I can to help children who, nothing good comes from children watching and being exposed to pornography.
Look, I think it's got to be about our children, and I think that they need to grow up in a world where they're safe, where they're looked after. And we see time and again that this adult problem is invading the realm of children, and our children who need to be kept safe, they're the ones that are being affected. It's important to look at best practice, it's important to look at ways we can keep our kids safe and be educated on that. And I think this is an emerging issue that we need to look after our most vulnerable. And in this case, it's the children who are here without asking to be involved in this. And really, we need to look after them because they're our future. They're the ones who are growing up and being exposed to things that children shouldn't. So I want it to be about our children.
So my role is I work at the Domestic Violence Action Centre. We see a direct link of pornography to sexual abuse and the control and I guess I'd say the mentality of using violence against women. So there's that direct linkage. It also sets up a unrealistic expectation around who we are as individuals. So what to expect in a relationship, whether it's a same-sex relation or a different-sex relationship, and even just body image around what do men normally look like, what do women normally look like, and all of that. When we look at pornography, doesn't actually equal what relationships and who we are as people.
I think it's really important because I think we tend to shy away from these very tough issues. And these issues affect us all, but particularly such, I think, in remote Indigenous communities where rates of child sexual abuse are quite high, where domestic violence is quite high, and pornography is certainly contributing to that. And if we can't discuss these issues, then we can't begin to address them. And so we need to overcome the fact that this is a difficult issue to be able to discuss it. And our children are being affected younger and younger. And during the intervention, pornography was an issue that was brought up. It was banned from communities, but now the access to it is far too easy. And so you can ban it as much as you want in remote communities, but unfortunately it doesn't stop it from getting into remote communities. So it is really important to discuss this issue and to make it more broad as well, I believe.
I fully support Letitia's ride for freedom. It's a huge ride, and she's got plenty of character and plenty of passion, but there is this cause that is driving her. So this cause is not just for Letitia, it's for everybody in this community, in this city. So the way you can help is get behind Letitia, support her financially, support her emotionally in whatever way you can find. It's just far too important for us to walk past this crucial opportunity at this point in our community.
All the way from downhill, as she says, downhill from Darwin to Broome. Letitia's a woman who's really passionate about eradicating pornography, and I think in today's society, people who are passionate and strong and lend their voice to causes that are uncomfortable deserve to be supported.
Absolutely. So it's really important that we do educate people and educate parents, educate children around how they can respond, how they can start this conversation. So having resources available to support parents in starting those conversations is really critical. So encourage people to stand behind to be able to provide some resources to be able to do that.
I think people should absolutely get behind Letitia and her fundraising efforts, particularly as she is travelling from Darwin to Broome or Broome to Darwin, and the fact that there are many communities throughout that area that she's travelling that are certainly being affected by this as well, and who need themselves to have the discussions around the issue too. So I encourage anyone and everyone to get on board and support what Letitia is trying to do.